All right, another story about Z-93 in Atlanta. This was the late 80s to the early 90s. Morning show, Barry Chase and Scott Woodside, trying to improve our listenership. We decided that when we saw the news and heard the news about the Berlin Wall coming down, that we would talk our GM, David Mazaris, and program director, Tony Mathis, into flying us to Berlin to talk about the fall of the Berlin Wall. Well, they said, well, we can't pay for that. And so we got on the air and said, we really want to go to Berlin and talk about this, but we need an airline to help us out. Well, guess who stepped up to the plate? Lufthansa, of all people. What a great airline. They shipped us over there. Now, a lot of people said, well, how come Barry Chase didn't go? It was just you and your producer at the time, Amy Henry. Well, Barry Chase didn't have a passport. And by that time, I guess I was about 40, 42 years old. Hell, I'd already been all over the world. Started traveling really early, and it was probably about my third passport at the time. And man, I was ready to rock and roll. So hopped on the next flight, flew to Berlin, got off. We went through the streets, went up to Brandenburg Gate, and there was a hole in the wall about, I don't know, 1.5 feet. You could barely stick your head through it, and people were congregating around. There were German soldiers on the top of the wall with dogs and AK-47s, or who the hell knows what kind of automatic weapons they had, but they would do the trick. And they didn't know what to do, because back then Gorbachev, Reagan said, Gorbachev, take this damn wall down. And Gorbachev says, okay. And, of course, the rest is history. But we're over there handing out free Z-93 CDs and cassettes and telling everybody Freiheit, Freiheit. But as we were gathered around the wall, people kept chipping chunks of the wall out, so the hole would get bigger and people could crawl from East Berlin into West Berlin. So, wow. I mean, it was something to behold. So I just recorded bits that I was going to somehow send back to America. I didn't know how the hell I was going to do it. All I had was a cassette recorder. And anyway, I thought, I need to get part of the wall. So we took a cab. No, we couldn't take a cab. It was too crowded. Everybody was walking. Walked to a hardware store, bought one of these picks that mountain climbers use to climb these gigantic mountains, brought it back to the wall, and started hammering out pieces of the wall and putting them in a duffel bag. And I said, we need to take this stuff back to the United States. So anyway, we made our reports. We sent them back to Z-93. I conned a German radio station into letting us use satellite time. They were really nice. They said, oh, wow, you're Americans? This is awesome. It was a great experience, very historic occasion. So anyway, we're on the trip back to the States. We get at Customs in Atlanta, and Customs says, do you have anything to declare? I said, no, I don't have anything. And he said, what's in that suitcase? Because it was really heavy. I said, those are bits of the Berlin Wall that just came down. He said, did you know it's illegal to bring concrete into the United States? I said, I missed that memo. Come on, you're messing with me. He said, no, it is. But he said, we'll let you through if you'll give everybody here at Customs a piece of the wall. Oh, God. So started handing it out and was running low. I said, God, I got to have some to give back to the staff when we get back to the radio station. And he said, well, I don't know what to tell you. And I said, wait a minute. You see that guy over there? His name is Don Farmer. He is the chief anchorman at WSB Television. And he and Chris Core, his wife, just brought a ton of that stuff back to give out to the TV station personnel. So Customs hit him up for a bunch of it. Anyway, when I got back to the house, I started counting the number of pieces of concrete wall that I had collected. And I was about 12, 13 pieces short, maybe more than that, because I wanted to give some to the neighbors too. So I lived in a fairly new subdivision, went down to where they were doing new development and they were doing the roads and the, what do you call them? The curbing. Well, the curbing was done out of concrete. And there was a bunch of chunks of concrete and everything. And I said, that looks just like the Berlin Wall. So I grabbed, I guess, about 20 or 30 chunks of concrete, took a hammer and beat it up little small chunks. Then I bought some spray paint. I sprayed red, blue, black, and different, Anyway, handed it out to all of the employees at Z-93. No one knew the difference. It was a piece of concrete with painting on it. But I bet you to this day, people, my colleagues that worked at Z-93, actually have pieces of the Berlin Wall that are from Neely Farm subdivision in Gwinnett County, Georgia. Anyway, just one more story. God, have I got a bunch for you. Thanks for listening. If you like it, spread the word. I'd love to know what you think. Talk to you. Bye.